Today on SAU News, what have you heard about Southern's new mascot? Can campus bear the weight of this change?
Water rained down from the ceilings in the women's dorm. What happened in Thatcher South?
These stories and more coming up.
SAU News starts now.
Welcome back to SAU News. I'm Naomi Linder.
I'm Alexis Dewey.
And I'm Matthew Taylor. Our weekly newscast is brought to you by SJC Productions and the School of Journalism and Communication. There's been a lot of talk regarding Student Association's proposal for a new mascot. I decided to take a bit of a closer look this week. The proposed bear mascot was unveiled on February 14th, coincidentally a week before another bear, the Cocaine Bear, hit theaters worldwide. Despite Hollywood's depiction of a violent Bruin, the Student Association said a bear mascot was appropriate for Southern because bears are protective of their cubs, which could be confusing since the majority of students are not parents. There are mixed reviews on the choice of a bear rather than the Southern synonymous duck.
You know, I don't really even see why we need to have a mascot. And if we do have a mascot, why does it have to be like all the violent ones?
The argument the students have made for a duck are the pre-existing duck walk in relation to the former duck pond.
Wait, we're not the ducks? I mean, duck.
The administration and SA have not provided a look at what this mascot might look like, so we are forced to use our imaginations and artificial intelligence to picture what it might look like. These include a bear, a duck, and a potential compromise, the duck bear. To the School of Health and Kinesiology, this is no joke. According to a recent Southern accent story, the faculty are against the introduction of a mascot regardless of its identity. They fear that a mascot is a gateway into a competitive varsity athletics program with other colleges, and that Southern is better off focusing on a robust intramural program. The decision that will be made is yet to be seen. For SAU News, I'm Matthew Taylor.
So what do you guys think about the new mascot idea?
I don't really know what to think about it. I definitely lean towards the duck, though. I'm definitely a duck.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like the duck.
definitely. Earlier this month, Thatcher South's fire response drills were put to the test when a small kitchen fire broke out on the 4th floor. Confused passersby watched and recorded as girls flooded out of the dorm and sprinklers began going off. The email sent out that night by Director of Marketing and University Relations Isaac James clarified that all the systems in place worked just as intended and that the fire had been quickly extinguished. No dorm rooms were significantly impacted by the fire, and while the lobby had some drying out to do from all the water leakage, dorm residents can rest peacefully knowing that they were in good hands.
Over spring break, 39 students went on a Southern mission trip. A group of 25 students traveled to Manaus, Brazil. They traveled by riverboat down the Amazon River to 3 different villages where they provided both medical and spiritual support. Meanwhile, the team of 14 students in Nome, Alaska, volunteered at the local community center, the Boys and Girls Club, and a homeless shelter. They also helped out at the local food bank. Senior media production major Aaron Patterson shares his Alaskan mission trip experience.
I'm so clearly privileged in my own right, because even in Tennessee, in Chattanooga, I'm sure there's areas where people need serving, but it's so easy to become blind to that. And when you're thrust into it, like we were in Nome, and it's 0 degrees the entire time, and you're with a bunch of other like-minded people who are trying to serve, it becomes abundantly clear how much of a need there is. So I mean, everyone always says it, but like you go on the mission trip trying to like change and serve a community, but then you end up being the thing that's most changed.
During spring break, SAU's Symphony Orchestra headed out on a 10-day tour of California, their first West Coast tour in 5 years. The orchestra started off with performing at 2 worship services at Loma Linda University Church. The video you're seeing here was broadcasted internationally on the Loma Linda Broadcasting Network. The 65-member orchestra practiced hard for months and blessed many people with their music, including works by Beethoven and Edward Elgar. The orchestra traveled to Northern California by bus and also performed at the Granite Bay Hilltop Seventh-day Adventist Church in Sacramento. Unfortunately, the orchestra's visit coincided with non-stop rain, as California was drenched by an atmospheric river. After a full week of non-stop performances, the musicians ended their tour with a free day exploring San Francisco. The orchestra is now preparing for its spring concert on April 23rd.
Since our last newscast, there were quite a few big events that we weren't able to cover here on SAU News. Here's a quick rundown in case you missed out. Back in February was BCU Night that featured a variety of performances including singing, dancing, and more. Many attendees stated it was one of the best student shows they had seen in their time here at Southern.
Early in March was this year's annual International Food Fest, which had over 40 vendors selling a wide variety of cuisines. Students enjoyed 15 free tickets, equivalent to $15, to spend as they wished at booths. Attendees also enjoyed live performances of cultural songs and dances.
Last weekend, 9 performers competed in the Student Association Talent Show in an effort to win the first place prize of $2,000. Students performed spoken word poems, played instruments and sang, and even freestyle rapped in front of the audience and a panel of judges. Ultimately, gym master Jared Hotelling, who juggled sharpened machetes while hoisted in the air, took home the grand prize.
That sounds insane. I'm so sad I missed it. Did you guys get to go?
I did, and it was an awesome experience. I want to shout out Jack Bell. He told a poem that absolutely touched my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm sad I missed it.
Yeah, me too. Well, before we go, we have a question of the day from the SJC's digital storytelling class.
What is something you wish you knew before you started college?
Something I wish I knew before coming to college would probably be just how to study, because in high school I never studied and I winged everything and did okay. Or I did pretty good, but I just wish I learned at least how to study and not procrastinate.
So something that I wish I knew before going to college is that some professors actually really care about you and other professors really don't. So for example, extensions and stuff. Some professors would be like, yeah, no problem, and others would be like, no, you're on your own.
How hard it's going to be academically compared to high school.
All right, one thing I wish I knew before coming to college is how important you need to communicate with your family, because I get the call every day, every week, saying, why don't you call? What's wrong? Are you dead or alive? So, gotta do that more.
So what's one thing you wish you knew before coming into college?
I absolutely wish I had a detailed list of worship credit opportunities here on campus.
Real. What about you?
I wish I didn't let people tell me how scary college was, because then I would have joined more clubs.
That's true, actually. Mine is much more basic. I just knew I was coming somewhere warm, so I only packed sandals and didn't bring enough socks down here. So I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, bring more socks.
It's real.
SAU News is a student-run production here in Southern School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Alexis Dewey.
I'm Matthew Taylor.
And I'm Naomi Linder. Do you have a newsworthy story? Message us on Instagram at SAU_news.
Thank you so much for watching.